What's up, guys? It's 4:58 a.m., July 17th. I just watched Mysterious Skin. It's time for a Closet Quickie. So this is the first episode of Closet Quickie. It's just a little thing I thought of for when I watch a movie and I just need to talk about it right afterwards. I don't want to save it for the podcast. It's not going to be a super long one. It is going to be spoilers. So spoilers ahead for Mysterious Skin. And yeah, let's get right into it. Obviously, I've said the title a few times. Tonight I watched Mysterious Skin by George Araki. It came out in 2004. Man, this movie really, really hit me in just every single way. I mean, there's definitely a lot of controversy for this movie, and for some people, this movie I could see definitely not hitting, but for me, it really did. The comedy hit, the emotions definitely hit. It's a story about pedophilia and rape. There's sexual assault shown throughout. It's about two boys who were raped by their coach at a young age, and one who forgets about it and manifests it in a way of believing aliens abducted him, and the other one who cannot forget it and is forced to relive it throughout his life. He becomes a childhood prostitute at like 15. He does this up until he was like 19, where the movie ends up ending at the very end at those ages when they come back together. And it's an insanely twisted story. I went into this thinking it was maybe gonna be like a cute teen drama, maybe something like E.T. in a way, basically how it's described, but obviously this is not like that. The way the movie so perfectly and delicately brings up the discussions of pedophilia, rape, and sexual assault, and touches on all of those in such important ways, while not victim blaming in any way. It is obviously, it's a gay story, so they don't in any way, they don't show that the kids became gay because of it. Thank the fucking Lord. That would have been horrible. Thank God they didn't do that. They made sure to show that that the main kid was gay beforehand. The other one didn't end up the other one was not gay, I mean. And so that was obviously really very glad to see that. But the ways that it was able to bring up each of these topics in such a delicate way was so interesting and so heartfelt. And the way that was specifically done through this was really through the directing. The directing of this movie is just on another level. It's so personal, and a lot of the shots are just the characters looking straight into the camera, and it really gives just a depth to it of really looking into these characters and how this trauma really affected them, because that's really what the whole movie is about. It's examining how trauma is inevitable, and you will have to face it at some point in your life, no matter what. It's something that you can't just brush to the side. And this movie, the way that it shows through both our lead characters of Brian and Neil, how it affects them and how it's how it influences their life in such massive ways. We see throughout a lot of different things of just ways that they act, and that is shown through a lot of mirrored shots where they mirror the same shot but in different scenarios, showing obviously the way that influenced and how specifically they're kind of reliving these same things that they'd done in the past. This is seen a lot in a lot of the really horrific sex scenes when Neil is working as a sex worker. There's some really gut-wrenching mirrored shots of that, and then flashbacks to him with the coach that are really really fucked up, but really make those scenes so important and so impactful to the end goal of the movie, of this idea. And man, and the characters, I've been talking about Brian and Neil, the two main characters. You really develop such a love and connection to both of them. They're both such relatable, honest, loving characters. You can't help but care for them and everything that they do. It's just so sad seeing them deal with this. But the thing that really seals the movie and how horrible it is throughout real as you slowly realize what actually happened, and these horrible, tense, fucked up, really just hard to watch scenes, it really builds up into the perfect ending when Neil and Brian finally confront each other, and they go back to the house that the coach raped them at. And their Neil is who remembers everything, is filling in Brian, filling in his memories about everything that happened, and you're making connections through mirrored shots and other things that happen through the movie. You're realizing all that as they're telling this just horrible, horrible story that is so hard to listen to. And I mean, one of the lines that really, really got to me was when it was the first time that Brian audibly admitted to what happened instead of saying it was, an alien abduction. You could see that he had obviously accepted and known what happened, or you could see that he knew what happened beforehand a little bit, but this was him finally accepting what really happened, as he says the line of, I just want to dream about something else. And I really, really relate to that. And that really sealed me just in tears until the end of these, just watching them hold each other, and neither of them able to say anything. But then there's this just great monologue by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is just unreal in this movie. Maybe one of his best, and maybe his best performance of all time. I've always been a massive fan of him, and God, he's just perfect in this movie as Neil, and he delivers just the absolute best monologue at the end. I won't reveal the last line. Obviously, I've done a lot of spoilers, but the last line is way too good. You gotta watch it. You gotta hear it. With the pan out that happens with it, it just perfectly seals up everything in the movie. All the themes that it's tried to deal with, all the different plot points that it's dealt with that you may have been confused about, everything finally comes together and makes sense in this end scene that's just so beautiful and like melancholy, even though it's a obviously very sad story and it's hard to watch throughout. This last scene is so beautiful, because though you're able to watch these characters finally fully accepting the trauma and the fucked up stuff that happened to them, and you can tell that they're finally gonna be able to start working towards moving on, with what happened, which is very, it's important. It's obviously an important thing. It's one of the main themes of the movie, and it just perfectly wraps it up at the end. And there's not much else to say about it. I mean, this movie really just touched me in every way. I loved it so much. I checked it out on the Criterion channel. Check it out on there. That's gonna be it for this Closet Quickie. Follow me on all my socials at JacobNestor568, Letterboxd, Twitter, Instagram. Go listen to the podcast in the Closet with Jacob Nestor. The intro episode's out. Episode 1's gonna be out next week. Hope you enjoy this little bit. I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot more of these for sure. Just whenever I watch a random movie on one random night and I just need to talk about it. That's it. See you guys.